Welcome to the One Berry Lane podcast, episode 7. We have not in office, not in studio, but a social distance via the Zoom. We have from our science department, physics teacher, the professor, Mr. Andrew Bever. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I'm going to be your host, Oana. Yes, welcome. Hi.
Well, thanks for joining me on this Teacher Appreciation Week. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
Well, thank you very much. I've been seeing some signs around the neighborhood and Mr. Allen's, I think, right? And that was really cool. Well, how does that work? Are the kids just calling in and saying, "Hey, here's this free sign," or well, how does it work? Are they surreptitiously
which
going
sign are you
and stabbing it in their lawn, or
are you talking about the Berry Hero signs? Or are you talking about the classic? Yeah, one sign's a part of the Alumni Association. For $20, you could nominate a Berry Hero.
I see.
And I'm sure many would be you're a hero to many
no.
students. And then the other one would be their class of 2020 signs that each senior received.
Okay.
And they can still come pick them up from 11 to 3 daily.
You're not driving around then, like with signs in the back of your trunk at 10 o'clock at night, stabbing it in lawns, right?
No.
Very good.
No. And they've been coming up and get them at the high school. Now, they will start seeing around the community, and there's already on the west side, we have those big billboards.
Mm-hmm.
We have that same logo for the we love the class of 2020. We have billboards going up around the community supporting our class of 2020, our seniors. We really feel for those seniors. They've kind of had a rough go around here to finish their K-12 experience.
It is rough. I think about it sometimes. I know I sent out a tweet that was trying to say that, sorry, this is the way it's going to be. But really, I understand now. I'm thinking more and more back to my senior year and thinking, well, I had my prom, I had graduation, and these guys are still going to have that, right? Isn't that the plan?
We're going to do our best. We move graduation to August 2nd, Sunday, and then we're bundling in a prom on that Friday night, July 31st. Still pending on what we can do. I know the governor outlined his plan, and Logansport's Cass County is a few weeks behind everybody as we get our COVID situation under control here in our community, and it's impacting families and students too. So, our hope is that by late July, early August, we'll be able to do some of those things. Just don't know. Who knows? Are they going to allow 300 kids in a cafeteria on a given night? I don't know. So we have a couple options for graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Prom, we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But we've definitely set the date. So, So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're not originally from Logansport.
No.
And where you grew up and did college and all that, and how you ended up in Logansport.
Sure. So I grew up in a little town called Forest, about 300 or so, 250, 300 people, about 40 minutes south of here.
One stoplight.
Zero stoplights.
Okay.
Zero stoplights. And if you go east, west through the town, there's not even a stop sign. So you can drive right through it, not even notice. The biggest, biggest thing to our name, Forest, is that we have a sign for Forest. If you go down 29, down towards Indianapolis, it says Forest on there, and it's like, oh, hey, big town. But I grew up on a sheep farm. We raised sheep my whole life up till when I graduated, and then Dad started to be like, hey, this doesn't seem like very much fun. And then here a couple of years ago, they finally got rid of them.
So you know how to shear sheep?
I was the helper. I held the sheep, and I helped trim their hooves a little bit here and there. My dad did most of the shearing, or we had somebody come in and do it. But I'll tell you,
I saw some. I don't know where it was. Some sheep that had broken away, had left its farm, and he ended up in the mountains for 6 years or something. And he had this he had quite a coat. Have
basically
you seen
a
that?
sphere, yeah. Basically a big ball of a sheep. That's pretty phenomenal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then let's see. I went to Clinton Central High School, which is down on 29.
Home of the Bulldogs.
Yep, home of the Bulldogs. We had about 70 something in my graduating class, which is still mind-boggling to me because my whole high school is about as big as our graduating class here at Logan, which is
right.
Still messes with my head a little
70, bit. Yeah, that's a quick graduation ceremony.
Yep. Yep. We have people come up do their talks, and it's like, okay, and boom, we're done. Go to your graduation parties. Get done with this. It's nice. Let's see. After that, I went to DePaul University for physics.
With a W.
DePaul.
With the W.
Yeah.
DePaul.
Up in Chicago, in Greencastle, home of the Tigers, and also, let's see what else is there. They also have Marvin's, the famous garlic cheeseburger restaurant, which I would suggest to everyone. Piper Nacky, I'm sure, is getting a hold of some of those right now as we speak.
Oh.
I envy her. Then, after college, I went down to Bloomington and lived there and worked on a vineyard for a little while. And I got in with some people that worked at a summer camp. And one of the guy that ran the summer camp said, hey, maybe you should look into teaching. So I looked into teaching, went to Purdue for it then, and I found myself in Logan.
Yeah, and some of this is starting to come back as I interviewed you. Gosh, how long have you been? What year is this for you?
This is year 9, I believe. Yep.
Okay, so
I started 2011.
Early year 2011. Okay, so yeah, I remember interviewing you in the Woodrow Wilson Fellowship when you got your teaching license.
Made my teaching career possible, that Woodrow Wilson Fellowship, because otherwise, there's no way I could have paid for it. I was working at a vineyard. I was a farmhand, So they really basically set the stage for my future in education, which is just amazing. Very fortunate to have that.
Right. And so living here in Logan and got a wife and kids.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
My wife, Alex, she works down at the Columbia Elementary and has been doing so for one less year than I have been working. So 8 years now.
Is that what she, okay. Yeah. I started out at Columbia Elementary, so I have a lot of ties over there. Columbia Elementary, the Cardinals.
Alex, she works at the elementary. And we have 2 sons. One of them's 5, just turned 5 in February. And then my youngest is 2.5-ish, 2 3/4. We're getting close. His birthday's in August. And they're, crazy right now because they've been stuck inside. They're basically bouncing off the walls.
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. We've got plenty of walls to bounce off of. It's not a big deal. But it does make things a little bit more difficult in terms of progress, if you catch my meaning. There have been some times when I've been recording for video or something, and then the boys just slowly open the door, creep in the room, and sneak into the shot. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll try it again.
That seems to be part of it anymore.
It's fine
with the e-learning and the recording and all the Zoom meetings and Looms.
It's interesting to say the least, to get the information that you want to get out in a fairly timely fashion. I know that I could probably spend 20, 30 minutes, but then the kids are going to watch, 4 hours worth of video every day, and I'm not sure I want my students to be completely zonked for 4 hours straight, So I try to make it digestible, try to put it in the notes, try to put it in the video, do the best I can. It's been really interesting, been an interesting challenge to get all this e-learning stuff going. Not e-learning, sorry, distance learning stuff going.
Right. And when we were already at an advantage because we've been doing e-learning for a few years, and everybody's getting better at our e-learning, distance learning, teaching methods through this process. So for future e-learning, once we get back to the somewhat normal traditional school day, and if we have an e-learning here or there going forward, we should be a little bit better at it or have a little more tools in our tool belt, so to speak.
Exactly. And that's actually something that I'm noticing with Alex, is because their e-learning was a little different than ours. I think that she had packets that they sent home that were just regular paper packets, but now everything's online for them. So she's had to adjust quite a bit. And I can tell, like for me, once again, like you said, we've been kind of prepared for this. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've already made. I've got a bunch of notes I've already made online, so it's a lot easier to distribute. Whereas she's still, they're little kids. And I always feel like little kids interact with, physical media a lot better than the older kids can interact with the digital stuff.
So you have some lessons. So you have Chem Phys, regular physics, and then also IU. You have IU? You do some of our dual credit with IU physics and also AP physics.
Correct.
Yeah.
And those they're basically the same like content. AP is formatted this a little bit differently. The main problem is that AP is like the test is fast, right? So you got like 45 minutes to do it. Whereas the ACP test is more along the lines of a regular college final, where it's like 3 hours that they allot for you, right? And they're not so worried about the speed as much as the completion and making sure that you've got all the work that you're working out. It's going to be a big change this year for online testing. AP is doing all online, if I'm not mistaken, for my final or for AP final, and that's just completely beyond what I would ever have expected from AP. Maybe they'll make that
and at home.
And at home.
First time ever, the College Board. Yeah, I guess you got to do what you got to do. To get through it.
Yeah, and it's nice that they're able to. What would you call it? Sort of change the restrictions just a little bit, because this is such a weird time for everyone, and allowing the kids to, like for my kids, it's half the test. Like there's a part where there's multiple choice, then there's a part that has like the long form. You got to write out everything, right? So they're completely canceling that for now, but they're just going to have the multiple choice. And so the AP test is shorter.
Well, crazy times, got to be flexible.
Right.
A lot of people are allowing the state, if it's a part of education, College Board, a lot of flexibility. It's not the kid's fault. So just or the teacher, just try to get through it and make the best of it that we can. For you, and observing your class many times, you're very hands-on, constructing stuff, demos. I mean, that's kind of natural for science anyway.
Right.
But that has to have been hard for you, because you have kids work in so many groups and projects.
It's tough. There is a Van de Graaff generator. I'm thinking about ICP right now specifically. There's a Van de Graaff generator thing. I'm sure you've come in on that one time right? Have you seen that one? Where it's got the big ball, you put your hands on it.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Like that's a classic. That's one of those things that I'm like, I'm glad I get to be the one that. And that's the thing. They're deprived of that this year, which is really unfortunate. I've got videos online. You can look up pictures of Van de Graaffs and all that stuff and people standing on it, but it's different, It's way different to interact with that object and get that feeling of the electric field, like messing with all of your hair all at once on your body. And you can't describe it. You go up there. I've got guys with short hair, right, like real short hair, and they'll go up there and stand on it, just feel it. And they're like, oh, you don't notice anything, but they feel it all over. It's like, gives you the heebie-jeebies. Anyway. So that's one. With my ACP class, some of the labs are very much the super interactive in terms of what we want to do. Our boat lab that we do every year, the cardboard boat lab.
Oh, that's right.
I know. Like maybe I'll just say, hey guys, make a cardboard boat and I don't know, put it in the bathtub or something. Go into a pool. I don't know. It's sad because that's a fun one. Maybe we can have like you said, an alumni night where the last year's group comes in, makes votes, fights the next year's group or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, and we just, hopefully talking about COVID-19 and we start flattening it a little bit, head the other direction. I know that the governor had a lot of, his plan, the phases to get us back going. And you said you've been monitoring this pretty closely and that aspect of it.
It's all about the shape of the curve and all that stuff. It's been I hate to say fascinating because it's affecting so many people's lives, but it was textbook for the longest time. It followed exactly what it was supposed to do. But recently, the number of cases that the United States has had every day it's kind of shuffling around, like about 25 to 30,000 every day, new cases around the U.S. And it's been like that for days and days. So like the graph has a certain shape that it should have, but because we live in the real world, there are other stimuli that are affecting the way the graph progresses. So I think that we did slow it down, obviously, because that graph could have just kept going up like an exponential curve, right? But it has started to flatten a little bit. And I've been watching it. And every once in a while I'll go onto Twitter and try to say to my students, like, hey guys, graph interpretation time, just so that we can see what's going on with the thing. I hope it's helpful to the kids, but now the graph is all funky because of this sort of shuffling around the number. Like you said, it's kind of flattening at about 25, 30,000 new cases every day. And I'm not a biologist, I'm not an immunologist, so I don't know what to say to fix this, obviously, but I think that it's kind of worked so far, what we've done, which is encouraging, I've been seeing more and more people at Martin's and more people at Walmart with masks on, which means people are out caring about it, and I appreciate that a lot from our community. I know that the stuff has affected many families from the Tyson plant. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sure you're more versed in all that information. But I know that's been affecting my wife's students. I know it's got to be affecting our students. And, of course, our hearts are going out to all of
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
It's been a strange 2 months, looking at these numbers going up and looking at how it's distributed amongst the country and around the world, seeing how their graphs are looking too.
Right. You listen to Dr. Fauci?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Isn't he a great, just a calmness and knowledgeable? I mean, he just seems like just an outstanding person.
I think
so smart.
Yes. I think that the best part about Fauci is that whenever he talks, he's talking like a scientist and making sure to qualify. Like, okay, now it looks like this is happening. We can't say for sure. We need to look for more evidence, and he's being very scientific about it, which I appreciate. There's a lot of people on the news, and there are a lot of people in various media nowadays that really enjoy to it's the headline, here's the headline, but you got to qualify it. You got to be careful, because if you're not, that can cause problems, right?
Yeah.
So, I appreciate that. Yeah, listening to him is always a treat, because it could be so much. He could be someone that would sort of, like you're saying, he sets the tone. He could be the one that sets the tone for how we breathe deep and relax during times.
Yeah, he just seems to bring calm, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. And I kind of even went back and looked at his career. He's had a fascinating career.
I haven't looked into a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
How many administrations has he worked with? He's worked with a lot.
Gosh, at least back in Reagan.
Really?
I think.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And that's another thing with all this political stuff. I don't want to get into politics. Let's not.
Right. No. Right.
It's good to see that he's been, involved with everybody, because that kind of helps with all the sides that are happening right now, right? And people will be like, okay, well, he's very much like you said, sort of a calm voice, even keel, so that we can have something to grab onto in these trying times,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's he's very enjoyable to listen to. So what else have you been doing during this quarantine time? Anything?
Well,
I mean, besides you've been playing with the kids a lot and working on your e-learning and with your wife.
I will tell you that it's not been a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, I play video games every once in a while.
We've got a video gamer.
Oh no, don't tell me. It's the headset, right? But
what's your game of choice?
Well,
what have you been playing?
I have been playing a little bit of my main game is Destiny 2, but I've switched off of that to a game called Control, where you mess with. They've got a really good physics engine, so it's really good. It's really fun to watch. But I just go on to Discord some days, and I'll talk with Mr. McCord, and I'll talk with his brother, Brantley, if you remember him. I don't talk to the older brother. I didn't know him, but a lot of our past students, they're all doing this social distancing thing too. Right, they're all going in this big group call and hanging out and playing games together. It's been pretty fun. It's been a lot of fun. Working on the house, I've got a bunch of vines I just pulled up, and that's been awful, but hey, we did it. It's been okay. The boys are trying to help. That's good, I suppose.
Very nice. Try to stay out of poison ivy.
Yes. I don't think we have any, but that's, I guess, to be seen.
Have you, with sports, next year we're going to have an esports team that we're bringing to LHS. So we're excited about that. Right before all this hit, we had ordered our 10 gaming machines.
Wow.
That are all in different boxes because we're going to build them.
Oh, nice.
We thought that was a cheaper way to do it, just plus good hands-on to learn and build our. So we're going to have 10 gaming machines. There's actually an esports network, high school network in the state of Indiana, and you compete against other high schools, and they're in different games. And then we'll also have 2 of the Nintendo Switches to compete, like the Super Smash Brothers and that. So it'll be a mix of a couple of the Switches with 10 gaming machines. And I think they compete in, Rocket League and League of Legends? I don't know all the names. There's a racing game in there too, a driving game.
I'm not much in the driving scene.
Yeah. So I know that there's some excitement to that. Hopefully next year we'll definitely get that kicked off to be a part of kickoff and be a part of that league.
That's really neat because if you go to Twitch, which is the big streaming for games, right? You see just an absurd amount of people watching League of Legends every day. You see an absurd amount of people watching Fortnite. I haven't looked at the numbers for Rocket League. I can't speak to that. But I know that there's a ton of kids that, past students that played Rocket League. One of my past students I think he's on a team that they do competitive Rocket League right now. He's out of high school now.
Well, the whole esports has just exploded, even in the college level, and there's scholarships now involved with it. And then right now, like all these people are, even like some of the professional athletes. I see the NASCAR and some of they're having virtual esports type weekly racing and online, just to kind of keep it going for something to do and bring a little bit of excitement. I know the people that are chomping the bit with getting sports out there.
Yeah. The people need competition, and if this is how we do it, this is how we do it, right? So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat. How many different schools have these esport leagues right now in our area?
Well, they're just off the top of my head, and some schools have multiple teams. So if they might do a varsity, a JV. It just depends how many kids are on the team. I know Lafayette, Jeff, McCutcheon, Harrison, Kokomo, Tipton, Carmel. I bet there's probably, and it's like a conference, a league. There's in Indiana, and just guessing, there might be 30, 40, 50 schools that have teams.
That's great. That's so cool.
And if you have, kids that are good at certain games, then that team focuses on Super Smash, and then this group focuses on Rocket League. And I'm trying to think, I can't remember all the other games. It's a lot of the popular ones. I don't think Fortnite, I know that's crazy popular. I don't think that's in the league, in this league. But a lot of the other ones are.
That's really neat.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see how that evolves.
And who's running this? Is that Mr. Hole? Is that correct?
Mr. Hole and Mr. McCord are kind of the lead coaches.
That's cool. That's very good.
So hopefully sometime this summer we'll be able to get some people back in the building and start building those gaming machines.
Yeah, it is so much cheaper. My PC that I'm talking from right now, I built this with some of my former students. And from 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Anyway, so I built this one, and it was if I bought a machine of this power, it would cost $500 more, maybe $700 more. So it's a steal.
Right. I think we in fact, my nephew helped put together, Grant Liddell, helped put together the PC Picker.
Yeah.
And on there, and PC Part Picker, and came up with try to future proof it a little bit. I want to say they ended up being, with the monitor, keyboard, everything, it was just under $1,000 per machine, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's just about right. In my mind, that's just about right in terms of like you said, future proofing. My computer's going to be okay for several years now. It was about the same that you're describing. And it's kind of nice to know that I'll be good for maybe 5 years. And if I want to replace parts, that's the other thing is if you want to replace parts, that's fine. You want a new graphics card, go get a new graphics card. You want more hard drive space, get more hard drive space. Your processor blow up, hey, get a new one.
Yeah, exactly. That's a nice thing. You can kind of exchange stuff out as you need to upgrade a little bit.
Yeah.
And our esports team will be housed out above the library, the kind of up there steps. It's kind of off limits normally to students. It's the old professional high school professional library will be the esports. There's actually a lot of room up there to be perfect for that. A couple big, 55, 60-inch televisions for the Nintendos going at the same time, and then rows of the gaming machines. So yeah, just looking forward to it.
So the weight room is accessible to the teachers, right? Is this new addition going to be?
Well, of course it would be. Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, if we have teachers up there, you got to, playing after school, that's fine too.
Yeah, I heard that Crite back in the day, he used to do LAN parties or something not LAN parties, but he used to do online stuff with other teachers.
Oh, yeah. They had, that time it was, oh man, what was that called?
Unreal Tournament or something?
Unreal Tournament. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe
then it all got shut down. Yeah. Unreal Tournament. That's right. Is that still popular? Unreal Tournament?
I don't play. I know that some people still play those kinds of games. I think that game is the most recent one's still pretty old. Don't quote me on that. You might need to cut that out and make me not a real gamer guy for not knowing how old Unreal is.
Okay. Hey, are you watching any shows right now? You binge watching or all or?
Not watching a whole lot. My wife and I, however, did start up the Star Wars saga. So we're on episodes.
Yesterday was May the 4th.
Yep. Appropriately following along, and we're doing a number 6 here sometime soon, and then we'll go on to the new ones because I think they just came out with Disney Plus. The new ones did.
Have you not seen the newest ones?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Oh, you're just going back and rewatching. I just finally saw the last one was at the Rise of Skywalker. Is that the right one?
Yep.
Which is, so that finished me off on quite an era of remembering back to my youth on all the way back to the New Hope in '77.
How old were you when were you able to watch it in theaters back when?
Well, in recall, as in memory, I do not remember going to the theater at age 5 to watch A New Hope, but I do have recollection of Empire Strikes Back in 1980 when I would have been 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of memory, definitely have memory of Return of the Jedi in '83 because I would have been 4th, 5th grade then.
Sure.
But I remember going to the UA Theater down, they just tore down the old Rural King by the Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. The UA Theater was back in that area, and that's where everybody used to go in Logansport growing up. And there was Noble Romans back there.
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in years.
There was a little indoor putt-putt arcade place called Mr. Putts back in that area too. So that was kind of the place to hang out and get the Noble Romans deep dish pizza and the breadsticks.
Now let's come full circle real quick. You were saying all the things you had here in Logansport. Do you want to guess what businesses we had in our town? In Forest, Indiana? What do you think?
What businesses?
Yeah. What businesses?
Did you have a little hardware store?
Oh, you're close. We had a gas station that had some hardware inside there.
Multi-purpose places, huh?
Exactly. And then we had a tractor shop. It's gone now, as is the gas station. And then we have a post office. And that was it. So what you're describing to me, I can't even
big city life here in Logansport. Compared to you, I get it.
When I went to Greencastle for college, I was like, man, you guys have all this stuff. You've got Walmart, you've got McDonald's. Some of these other kids coming from Indianapolis or Carmel or whatever, and they're just like, this is the tiniest town. It's like, no, it isn't the tiniest town.
Right.
So yeah. So Alex, real fast. Side talk. But Alex, she grew up in California. And so she's more used to bigger cities. So this is a small town for her. This is a small town for a lot of people, but for Logansport, it's still in my heart. In my heart, it's still a big town, not a city, but a big town. And you guys have a lot of wonderful stuff we have now. It would have been you guys 9 years ago, but we have a lot of nice opportunities here in town. I like that, compared to where I grew up.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
So did you ever go to the Monon Bell game?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever attend the big football game with Wabash?
I was in the pep band for that.
Oh, yeah. So you were all part of it, yeah.
Yep. Played the tuba and the pep band there for those games. That was a lot of fun.
That game's always later in the year, and sometimes it's snowing.
Yep.
If I remember.
I recall one year we were out, and I'm talking about a sousaphone here this time, but that thing's humongous. That thing weighs a ton, and it's it's on you all the time. You're trying to play this almost frozen instrument out in the cold. But yeah, I have fond memories of playing sousaphone with my sock cap on and two coats on, and it was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, it's always that rivalry. I never really got into rivalries, to be honest, but it's still fun to play in that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Okay, we're to the rapid fire round questions. Okay. So I don't have anything. I got just some easy questions for you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Do the best you can.
Okay.
My favorite band or musician is?
Sufjan Stevens. He's a folk guy. I really like folk stuff. He does some weird stuff too, but mostly folky kind of stuff. Really good.
Do you think your students are familiar with him?
Some. I think Riley Gay was last year. I think he heard of him. Not very many people around here have heard of him, I don't think. Some of them have, though, which is really encouraging.
Gotcha. Okay. Your first car was?
If I remember correctly, the year, 93 Pontiac Bonneville. 3.8 liter engine. I don't know a whole lot about engines, but I know.
Great gas mileage.
Yeah, it was pretty decent for that age of car. It's beautiful.
I know all these gas prices are really good right now, and you can't take advantage. No, we won't get into that, but we can't take advantage of the good gas prices. Exactly. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it reminds me of high school when I used to buy gas. This is about what it was.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
Favorite.
Let's think about that car. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the car, the Bonneville.
5,000 miles on it when we sold it, and it's
a Bonneville. Crazy. It's a Pontiac, right? Pontiac Bonneville. Oh.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Anyway,
that's pretty impressive amount of mileage there.
And we didn't have to replace hardly any, alternator here and there, but really it wasn't no big maintenance. It was crazy. Anyway,
that's great.
Yeah.
Favorite scientist, and it can be Mr. Craig.
Mr. Craig. Okay, let's see. Probably Richard Feynman. He was a physicist back in the day, back during the beginning of the nuclear era. And he just had a really interesting outlook on life. And it's always interesting to hear stuff from his perspective. He was able to put a lot of very high ideas into pretty reasonable terms. And I really appreciate that because it's not easy. Quantum field theory, that kind of stuff. He could kind of bring it down to somewhere where I could understand it. It's nice.
I always appreciate that when my teachers of science would keep it in, simple terms.
Yeah.
My level.
As simple as possible, but no simpler, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Fountain by Darren Aronofsky. It is gorgeous. Hugh Jackman, Rachel Weisz. Beautiful film. I don't know. I just have a big connection to it. It's one of those ones that's kind of slow, but it has different narrative shifts and stuff, and I really like it. I'd suggest it if you haven't seen it.
Okay. I'll put it on the list. Besides being a teacher, what's your dream job?
I don't know. I really enjoy music. So if I could make a career out of music as well, like on the side, I'd be down with that. I really enjoy being with people. That's like my biggest drive. I love science, people, and music. Basically, are my three top things. So like if I could find a way to mix all those together, that would be.
Yeah, you play the guitar, right?
Yep. I play guitar, play bass. Bass is my primary instrument, but I play guitar, play piano, and I don't know. That'd be kind of fun to be a musician as well. Be enjoyable.
Do you remember your great participation in a rocking chair in the "What Does the Fox Say" video?
I think about that from time to time. My kids listen to that song, and I think I was that old man. That was.
I'm not even sure if there are any students that are currently at LHS. That's so far back. Favorite meal?
Oh, no, don't do this to me. Anything that involves corn. But okay, let's see. Probably cheeseburger, homemade cheeseburger, corn on the cob, and probably, I don't know, mashed potatoes or fries or something. Some potato variety.
Good comfort food. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Favorite childhood TV show?
I have to say The Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Yep. My dad and I.
That shows your age. But it has been on for 25, 30 years.
Yeah. It's
they don't seem to age much.
Yeah, Bart's been in the same grade for quite a while. Yeah, that's a great show. Great show.
Name a bucket list item. You got anything on your bucket list?
Sort of. Okay, so one of the things that was on my bucket list was to go to the Parthenon in Greece.
Yeah.
And I did that. So it's like, oh gosh, now what? So I think.
When did you go to Greece?
That was in 2008.
Oh wow, what a great trip!
Yeah, it was wonderful. We went to Greece. We went to Cyprus, was where my uncle lived. And went with my cousin. I kind of escorted her around Europe that year. That was fun. But yeah, Greece. That was on my bucket list, and I did it. And I'm like, well, crud. Now what do I do? So, I think that I've always wanted to go to kind of follow my grandpa's footsteps through World War II. So if I could go over to France and England and kind of follow the path that he went on, I think that would be probably one of my biggest things to do. I think that'd be really neat.
That's neat. Yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to come on to the show. I'm sure a lot of the current students and your former students will enjoy this podcast episode. I want to thank you and for the LHS staff during Teacher Appreciation Week for all you guys do going above and beyond for our students. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week again.
Well, thank you very much.
And tell your family Alex said hello. Okay. And make sure to stay. Hopefully we'll get back to some somewhat normal times in the near future as this country heals and the world heals. Mm-hmm. And stay safe and stay healthy.
All right. You too, Mr. Jones. Thanks for having me on. It's been fun. And
all right.
I guess we'll talk to you soon.